Okay. First of all, Mr. B. Boy, there's a lot you can say about Mr. B, isn't there?
Don't say it all.
He began working here in 1978 and spent all 40 years of his teaching career in Lebanon School District. He started at the high school as the band director, ended up teaching at the junior high, Hillcrest, Boswell, Donnelly, and of course Easter. Mr. B considers Cuba, Missouri his hometown. He earned his bachelor's and master's degree in music education from Missouri State University. Mr. B shared a couple of funny memories with us. I'm sure you have many. The first one, he said, we have tutoring after school at Easter. After school one day, a little boy was running down the hall, and Mr. B told him to stop and asked him why he was in such a hurry. The little boy was out of breath and said, "I am late for neutering." Mr. B said he thought for a minute and said, "I wouldn't be in such a hurry if I were you." That's good advice. Mr. B also shared he likes to feature students' abilities for skills night, so he always asks everyone if they have a special talent. And a few years back, clogging was kind of a popular thing, and so he asked his class if there's anyone here that knows how to clog. And one boy asked another, "What's clogging?" And the friend said, "You know, clogging up toilets." You gotta love those little ones. They are so cute. They're very little, very little. Don and his wife Sharon met as first-year teachers here in 1978 and were married the very next year. Mr. B has a lot of plans for retirement. Some include visiting their first grandbaby due in June, fishing, golfing, gardening, and going on romantic walks in the moonlight with Mrs. B. Let's give him a round of applause.
Yay, Mr. B.
Next from Easter, we have Mary Beth Harrell. Mary Beth came to work for the district in 1991. She began her career at Boswell for 6 years, 3 in special education, 3 in 4th grade. She then moved to Donnelly for 2 years as a Title I teacher and finished her career with 19 years in the Reading Recovery Program. Mary Beth has a total of 27 years, all served in Lebanon. And Angie pointed this out. It was a kind of unique group of how many people up here this year started to finish their whole career here in Lebanon, which is really special. She proudly declares her hometown to be Lebanon, and in fact, she has never lived anywhere else. Mary Beth received her bachelor's degree in elementary education with an emphasis in special education from Southwest Missouri State University. In addition, she obtained her reading certification from MSU and SMO. Mary Beth said during her first year of teaching, she taught in the trailer behind Boswell. One day the bell rang, and when she looked at the clock, it was about 10 minutes before recess. Assuming that her clock was wrong, she went ahead and sent her students out to recess. She said a few minutes later, Coach Tony West came in and said, "I know you have a rough class, but you just can't send them outside during a tornado." So they have to take shelter inside. Well, luckily it was just a drill, but she had missed the memo. Back in those days, the memos came on paper. She didn't have a paper. She said from that point on, she learned to read all memos very carefully. In her spare time, Mary Beth loves to read and spend time with her grandchildren. After retirement, she plans to travel with her husband Chris and spoil her grandchildren as much as she can. Congratulations. Moving on to Maple Crest, I think half the Maple Crest faculty has retired over the last few years, and we're getting kind of toward the end of the group, maybe.
I hope.
Yeah. They all came in at about the same time. They're all leaving around the same time. We have Cindy Metz. Cindy started working for the district in 1989. And over her 29 years here, she has taught PE at Maple Crest, Hillcrest, and coached 7th and 9th grade girls basketball. Is it girls basketball, I assume?
Yes.
And was the varsity, very successful varsity volleyball coach for many years. She considers Joplin to be her hometown and earned her bachelor's degree from jury and her master's degree from the United States Sports Academy. Didn't even know that was a deal, but congratulations on that. Where's that located?
I said I was going to come embarrassed you write that down, actually. Daphne, Alabama.
And the district counted that, I guess.
I did.
Good. Cindy shared this funny memory. She said, one day I came to school with my hair straightened and I was wearing blue jeans and a flannel shirt, which is different than my usual curly look and t-shirt and sweatpants. That's all I've ever seen you in. She said, as the class was beginning to come in, one student asked, "Coach, did you get a haircut?" And before I could answer, another student answered and said, "No, she just combed it." So later today, another kid came up and said, "Coach, why are you wearing your church clothes today?" Well, that's the life of a PE teacher. You get to wear sweats and shorts every day to work.
And not comb your hair.
And not comb your hair. Gotta love it. In her retirement, Cindy plans to spend time golfing, hanging out at the lake, traveling and visiting relatives, and this is important right here, watching KU basketball. This is a bully-free zone. I have to really be sad today because I'm losing one of my only other KU fans in the district. I've really relied on that over the years. Congratulations, Cindy. Let's give her a big round of applause. Next, we have Cindy Ogle. Cindy began her career 25 years ago in Lebanon and stayed for the duration. She started at Hillcrest as a 6th grade teacher for 4 years before moving to Maple Crest as a 2nd grade teacher. She also considers Lebanon to be her hometown. Cindy received her bachelor's in elementary education with a minor in early childhood from Southwest Baptist University. She said there's been numerous special times, conversations, and laughter with her colleagues, but a couple of memorable situations came to mind. One year, parents were invited to the classes at Maple Crest to share about their occupations. And she said, fortunately, all her time slots were filled when she had a parent ask if she could come and talk to the 2nd graders about breastfeeding. Another time, after teaching a lesson on idioms, a student excitedly came rushing to her desk to tell her that he had found an idiot in his book. Cindy loves spending time with her precious 5 grandchildren, traveling and spending time with family and friends, and plans to do a lot of all the above during her retirement. Congratulations, Cindy. Next, we have Phyllis Smith. Phyllis began her 21-year career in 1997 at Maple Crest Elementary and has been there ever since. Phyllis was born in Harrison, Arkansas, but considers Lebanon to be her hometown. She received her bachelor's degree from Drury University. Phyllis has so many great memories from Maple Crest and says that her friends are more like family and she will miss them greatly. In her spare time, she loves to read, travel, and attend to her garden. Phyllis's plans for retirement include traveling more, spending more time with her family and friends, and most importantly, getting to know her newly adopted grandson from India, who is due to come home in a few weeks. Congratulations, Phyllis. Let's give her. Moving on, we have Twyla Rowlett. Twyla started teaching and working in the district in 2001. Over her 17 years in the district, she has worked at Easter, Maple Crest, Boswell, the junior high, the high school, and most recently, again at Boswell, teaching K-5 gifted students. Twyla was born in Kansas City, but considers Lebanon to be her hometown. She earned her bachelor's from Southwest Missouri State and her master's from SBU, and her gifted certification through Drury. Twyla shared this unique and comical classroom experience. She said, while teaching at Jolie Barber in her early years as a teacher, she was out for surgery for a little while, and Teresa Moore was subbing for her. She said, Mr. Tiller, who was the superintendent at the time, called her and politely asked what on earth had hatched in her room. And Twyla says that she had praying mantis that that had been given to her by a bus driver, the pods of praying mantis. And she said that Teresa apparently had gotten cold on a particularly cold snap time of the year, and it turned up the heat, and it caused those praying mantis to hatch out, and the little guys were all over the room, on the floor, the ceiling, the walls, everywhere. She said for the rest of the year, she was finding dead praying mantis all over her room. In her retirement, Twyla will be building a house in Chadwick with her husband and being Mimi to her grandchildren and figuring out what to do with the next chapter of her life. Congratulations. Moving on to the middle school, we have Mr. Gary Shaver. Gary started working for us in 1986 and has spent all 32 years at the middle level, first at the junior high and now at the middle school. I know he has lots of probably interesting memories and stories he could tell of his time in the in-school suspension room all those years. But we're going to save that because they're probably not fit to be told. Gary considers Grove Springs to be his hometown and earned his bachelor's and MBA from Drury University. He loves fishing, reading, and attending church. And after retirement, he plans to farm and get a part-time job. So, good luck and congratulations, Gary. Thank you. Now we have the other half of Mr. B. We have Miss Sharon Britton. Sharon began her career in Lebanon at the high school and junior high teaching accounting, English, and general business classes until she became the librarian. During her 32-year career, she had the privilege to stay home and raise her 2 children before returning back to work to her love of being a librarian at the junior high and middle school. Sharon grew up on a farm near Nevada, Missouri, but considers Lebanon to be her hometown. She received her bachelor's in business education from Southwest Baptist University and her master's degree from Drury. Her earliest special memory is noticing a certain fellow first-year teacher that kept crossing her path. They both taught at the high school and had the same conference hour off. And it just so happened that they tended to take their attendance up to the office about the same time every day. They had the same lunch shift, and they played basketball and volleyball in the Wallace gym with other young teachers. They went to Sonic, they cruised town together, and then it crossed her mind. I think he likes me. That's a great story. Her favorite memory of a student happened many years after he had been in her class, and he came back. He was a very troubled 8th grader who made quite clear that he did not like school, did not like teachers, didn't like English, and oftentimes their interactions leaned toward the unpleasant. She said, imagine her surprise when the same young man, 30 years later, came into the junior high library during a 7th grade orientation and threw his arms around her and wanted her to meet his grandson. She said he apologized for being a poor student and asked her to keep an eye on his grandson. It was then that she realized the impact she had on students. She says, what may seem like a tough nut to crack may actually be a wounded child who is trying to survive the best he can, and even the slightest indication of caring for us as teachers may have a greater impact than we will ever know. That is so true. In Sharon's spare time, she loves to play the piano, sew, and be outside. Her retirement goals include visiting her children, meeting new grandchildren, her new granddaughter, helping out with family, and traveling. Her most favorite thing about retirement, and I hear this one about every year, not getting up early. Congratulations, and we wish both you and Mr. B well. Moving on to high school, we have Tamara Gann. Tamara has worked at Lebanon High School since 2013, but has been teaching for a total of 19 years. She was born in Indiana and earned her bachelor's in Spanish from Purdue, but considers Lebanon as her hometown because she's lived here the longest. She shared this funny memory. While studying Christopher Columbus and his ties to Spain, One bright-eyed freshman got that I get it look and said, Columbus. He's the one who came over with Lewis and Clark, and they met at St. Louis and built the arch. She said she didn't know how to go from there on that one. In her retirement, Tamara plans to do more traveling, cooking, and fishing. Congratulations, Tamara. Next up, we have Carolyn Kinney. Carolyn has spent 7 years of her teaching career in Lebanon. She has had the privilege to teach at the junior high, Maple Crest, Eastern, and finally at the high school, where she finished out as a special education teacher. Carolyn was born in Avon, Illinois, but considers Springfield, Illinois, her hometown. She also has her bachelor's degree in health administration and received her certification in elementary education and special education. When Carolyn is not working, she loves to attend to her flower gardens, read good books, and spend time with her family and friends. Following retirement, she plans to work at Lake Ozark Development Center in Camdenton as a community nurse. Congratulations and best wishes to you. And finally, we have Kathy Rod. Kathy began working for the district in 2000 as a para, but went on to teach at Boswell, the junior high, and the high school as a special education teacher. She was born and raised in Lebanon and earned her bachelor's in elementary education from Drury. Kathy shared this fond memory. She said on February 1st of 2005, Pat Bauer knocked on her door when she was a para in Mr. Livingston's room. Pat asked her to take a position in the life skills class. She said, I was elated, nervous, and shocked at the same time. This began my career in the life skills classroom that I have enjoyed for the past 13 years. This was a dream come true, and I felt called to this since I was a young person in high school. Kathy plans to do lots of writing and ministry in her retirement and hopes to work with adults with disabilities to help them gain and maintain their independence. Congratulations, Kathy. Well, I think you can see these are some outstanding educators that have had a tremendous impact on the lives of thousands of students over the years, and they will be truly missed. But they've laid a foundation for us that we can continue to build on, and we appreciate their efforts. We really do. Let's give them one last round of applause.